Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Authentic Info Podcast. I'm your host, Admire Sandrechau. The EFF Deputy President, Floyd Shivambu, is being hounded by the VBS scandal. We know that in 2017, there was a case that linked the EFF, although we understand that the EFF were not the only implicated people on the EFF leadership were not the only implicated people on that scandal. We know about Valley Investment and others. But the media gave attention to the EFF because it seems like there is something that the media is looking for in trying to pin the EFF down and trying to tarnish their name and things like that. But corruption is corruption, fraud is fraud, and criminality is criminality. So recently, the Parliament's Joint Committee on Ethics has recommended a salary cut for EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu. This is following the VBS Mutual Bank scandal. So what happened is that Shivambu was found guilty for violating the Code of Ethical Conduct for not disclosing the money which he received from his brother's company. So what happened is that the committee couldn't link the EFF leader Julius Malema, which a lot of people wanted and wished for. So they couldn't link him to that scandal. And then we know that currently the deputy president of the EFF is earning not less than 1.3 million per annum, which is more than 108,000 rand per month from Parliament. And they say that they're going to cut his salary. I don't know whether it's 3 months or some few days. But the EFF is taking that to court and they are going through the processes. So we're waiting for their official statement on that. And we know that the amount they say that he is implicated of, it's 180,000 rand, which he received at least 3 times. So he received amount of money 3 times, and then which is equal to 180,000 rand, and he failed to disclose that in Parliament. And by their code of ethics, all the monies that are received, which are not a part of their salaries, should be disclosed in Parliament. So other people are saying that this might be a political game. We know that Julius Malema has told Floyd Shivambu live on the gala dinner, which they held before their celebration of the 10th anniversary. So they held a gala dinner, and he said to Floyd that if you guys are trying to plot against me, you must be very careful because I'm good at that. So maybe we are seeing this type of politicking that is happening in the AFF. Maybe Julius Malema is trying to show these people, these academics which are there, which believe that the deputy president should be the one who is leading the EFF. Maybe he's trying to show them that it is also not clean, because we know that there are EFF supporters who do not like the politicking of Malema, because it's the same thing. They say it's the same thing which is being done by Mbalula, like clown politics. That's what they say. It's not me. This is what I hear them saying, that they want someone of substance. They want someone who has the brains. And when they look around, it's only Floyd who can do that, who actually fits to be in that leadership position. And we know that Malema is the best when it comes to strategizing, to take people out of power. He has done this with Mbeki, he has done this with Zuma, and he's busy doing this to the president of the state, Ramaphosa. So he's the best, it is proven. And when we check on the other side, Floyd Shivambu is someone who is very reserved, who doesn't play dirty games, doesn't play politics. Is someone of substance, is someone who, when he delivers a statement, you listen, and he is not a bully. So it's not someone who will just speak about scandals of other people in trying to bring them down, but he's someone who's focused and growing the party, is very principled, and they understand and maintains the position of the EFF in terms of their policy. So the brains behind the EFF, a lot of people are saying that is Floyd Shivambu. So I think those who are saying that there might be a plot against Floyd so that it doesn't even try to challenge the CIC Julius Malema. And we know that Malema always tells us that in politics, there are no permanent enemies and there are no permanent friends. So which means you can be friends today and then tomorrow you can be enemies. Or you can be enemies today and tomorrow you can be friends. And this statement needs to be analyzed, because if it comes out of Julius Malema's mouth, it means that he can even betray Floyd Shivambu. Although we hear him trying to say that, trying to protect, his position when it comes to the threat that Shivambu might be posing on his position as the leader of the EFF. He once told the press that he told his family that if he dies, the first person they should call is Uncle Floyd. He told his children and wife that if he dies, that is the guy to call. So these are dirty games, because for the longest time in the EFF, we have never had this type of conversation coming out from Malema, mentioning the deputy president regarding the future of EFF leadership. He never mentioned him. But it seems like he can feel the resistance that is coming from within, because we know that in the previous election conference, the deputy president was challenged by the likes of Dalimpov. After Dalimpov lost that position of chairperson, he challenged the deputy president position, although he didn't meet the threshold. But Mpofu is still there. And a lot of academics who are in the EFF are thinkers. And majority of them, they only relate to Malema for his charisma and not for his ideas. A lot of people resonate better with the deputy president of the EFF. And there are those who speak from outside, by the way, although this needs to be carefully analyzed and understood. There are those who are saying that if Malema can step down as the leader of the EFF and then Floyd takes power, they will join. And these are academics, these are professionals. And they have judged from a distance. And they can see that if that man is the one in charge, and then the EFF will be the EFF of principled leadership, not leadership that is bully, leadership that is always threatening people and things like that, always taking out scandals against other people. So this is the type of leadership that Malema displays. It's this type of leadership. And a lot of people no longer want that, because they say the country is on its knees and they have to be careful when trying to give their vote to an alternative political party like the EFF. So it seems like there is some sort of resistance from within, and others are saying that, are accusing the EFF leader Julius Malema of plotting against Floyd, so that he displays to those who support Floyd from within that he is not that clean, and also to threaten Floyd Shivambu from a distance, to say, if you try and challenge for me for this position, this is what is going to happen. I have files against you, and I'm going to do what I'm known for. And we know that the EFF leader, Julius Malema, is someone who have files and scandals of everyone else which have not yet been in the media. And if you can start distributing these files to the media, Floyd can go down and disappear just like that. So because these guys lived together for far too long. And we know that Floyd is not the type of politician who likes crushing his enemies. And he is not a person who suffered a blow like Malema did from when they were chased from the youth league. Actually, he followed Malema. He supported Malema. So he's a supporter. He is a builder. But Malema, on the other side, on the other hand, he is someone whose politics are of destruction. Prince Marshall says that Malema just destroys everything. and he has no record of building anything. But we can disagree because the EFF is here. It's big, it's growing, one of the fastest growing political parties in South Africa. So Marshall was just trying to show us the other side of Julius Malema. So this scandal should be carefully analyzed. The political analysts that are here in South Africa and Africa should help us analyze this situation. Is it a plot against Floyd Shivambu from within the EFF? Is it the same thing that is happening to Paul Mashatile in the ANC? Where now that they are approaching 2024 elections, it's scandal after scandal after scandal regarding the deputy president of the state and that of the ANC, Paul Mashatile. Are these guys going through the same thing because of their leaders who don't want to be challenged? Because on the side of the ANC, we know that they've created a precedent, two precedents. Number one, no ANC president will ever finish their second term. Number two, there is a chance that a corrupt ANC president might enter prison after losing power based on their shenanigans and criminal activities which they anchored before by the time they were president, and before that, by the time they had political protection. So these are the things that have been created in the recent politics in South Africa. So you can't take away that type of politicking of the master using their deputy to show everyone else what's going to happen to them if they try to challenge them. Because we know that opposition parties in South Africa are sustained by the image of their founder. And their founder becomes stubborn in their position, and they don't want to let go of power. And they claim as if it's a once-off vote for their position until they become president. So it becomes a problem because if a political party underperforms, it means the leader or its top leaders must be held accountable, because the sole reason for forming a political party is for that political party to win elections, take power from the ruling party, and use its ideology to lead the state. So if in the previous 10 years, Malema failed to deliver, it is quite reasonable that the masses on the ground can try and give leadership to someone of Floyd Shivambu's caliber. So we understand the Parliamentary Joint Committee on Ethics' findings. We respect that decision. And I think even the EFF must respect that decision. But we cannot rule out the possibility of internal resistance within the EFF itself. We cannot rule that out, because this report is quite dodgy. These findings are quite dodgy, because if the EFF entirely was accused, the leadership, of benefiting from that, especially Malema and Floyd, and now they don't touch Malema, and they say they don't want to give a report on Malema because they found nothing that links him, and they don't want to dig deep. And the people who provided the report that links Floyd said they don't report to Parliament, and they cannot give them anything that links Malema. So it's a problem. It's a dodgy report. Which leads to a dodgy finding, which means maybe Malema got files, and then he decides that let me dish out this one for now and see what happens and see how he reacts. And by that time, they are together. So we are waiting for that statement from the EFF. I heard some rumors that they are taking that report to court, and then we'll see how it materializes. But we know that there is no way that people are not ambitious to assume that position of leadership, that position of CIC of the EFF. A lot of people are there, a lot of people wish that one day it will be them on that throne. So if the EFF does not deliver Malema as president of South Africa, he will have to be challenged either way. And if they deliver him as president, he might go on for 2 terms. And then after that, if he has support, he might amend the constitution so that he comes back. So, and this is something which will be greedy and unfair of him. If these guys do not create room for growth, if they create a ceiling below them, it's bad for politics and it's bad for the political party. We have seen this with the IFP, although the man grew, to his 90s, and then he decided to let go of power. But by the time he was still energetic, he did not want to give power to anyone. And I think it has costed the IFP, because he was someone who advocated for the interest of the Zulu people. And the Zulu people in their majority are in KwaZulu-Natal and some parts of Gauteng. So the IFP was focused on the region of KwaZulu-Natal and was doing well, but it failed to reach other provinces. The very same problem is faced with UDM in the Eastern Cape. The UDM in the Eastern Cape, ever since it entered into parliament, it has never shown any sort of growth, but it still has that leader, and there's no one who has been afforded a spotlight to have potential on the eyes of the people to can take UDM forward. So these type of cult leadership are bad, because we need alternative thinkers. We need people who will come with new ideas and leadership qualities to take these political parties forward, so that we can see competitive politics, we can see competitive governance in parliament and in all these ministries. So if Malema is the one who played this dirty trick, I think Floyd Shivambu must open his eyes and also change his way of politicking, so that he can know who is in his side and who is not, or take the president head on to confirm if that information does not come from the EFF. Maybe his information has lost protection from the party. And if that is the case, it will need to be addressed, because they cannot go on, both of them, knowing that they are fighting each other in silence. So it's dangerous to that political party. And we wish to see strong opposition in South Africa, so that whoever gets to lead the state do not relax, do not enjoy their stay, but are always held to account by these competitive organizations or political party in opposition benches. So there are 2 things happening here. The report might be legit, or the report might have lost protection from the EFF, and then the leader just want to show anyone else that the Floyd that they are praising, the Floyd that they wish to have, is not that clean, and it's easy to distract him, to destroy his political career. But we know that Floyd is a man of substance, is a man who is very principled, and at the end of the day, he is also human. So things like financial mismanagement and things like that are bound to distract him sometimes, because we live under the world of trickery, the world of greed and things like that. So he might have slipped along the way, but I think he will regroup and he will come back strong. So this is Authentic Info Podcast. I'm your host, Master. These are just my thoughts. Let's engage on the comment section. Let's grow together. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Thank you.